Wes Moore has an impeccable resume, Rhodes Scholar, White House Fellow, combat veteran, CEO of a nonprofit organization, and best-selling author. Even Oprah Winfrey's touting him. But governor of Maryland?
Well, I've had a chance to lead in every sector of the American economy. And I know that right now we've got an important moment where we have to decide as a state, are we going to be bold? Are we going to go about accomplishing big things again? And I think that when you're looking at the background that I've had, whether it was leading soldiers in combat, whether it was leading a successful small business here in Maryland, or leading one of the largest poverty-fighting organizations.
The educational system in Maryland is broken, he says, but can be fixed.
We need to make sure we have a 21st century education system, and an education system that's actually preparing people for the jobs that are available now and for the jobs of the future. Right now, we have 2 jobs in Maryland open for every person filing for unemployment. And people say, well, how does that make sense? It makes sense because the jobs that we have coming on board are not jobs that people are prepared for and being trained for.
Some might wonder why Moore is a Democrat with his business and military background that could be seen as a Republican. But the main difference is how he believes government can help people.
I'm a Democrat because I believe that government plays an important role, not just in supporting people, but in elevating them, right? That we have to focus on issues of work, wages, and wealth for all of our families. To win in November, to win in a general election, you've got to do 2 things. You need to both energize the base, but not alienate everybody else. I don't plan on being the governor for Democrats. I plan on being the governor for all Marylanders.
But Moore doesn't come without controversy. He has taken heat for inaccuracies in what was in the opening cover flap of his book. Moore said it was the publisher's mistake to say he grew up in Baltimore, where he now lives, or winning the Bronze Star. He did not. The criticism comes as Moore was slow to correct the record.
Well, I think that, when people see that there's nothing inside the book, anything that I've ever written or anything that I've ever said has been questioned. And so that people will take my politeness in a live interview 12 years ago and use it to weaponize against me. Is that frustrating? Potentially, but I think it also shows who they're worried about.
Moore's answer to why he's never run for elective office before, including to be mayor of Baltimore?
I'm not a career bureaucrat. I haven't run for office for the past 40 years. And honestly, I think that the thing that we're seeing from Marylanders, that's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for a career bureaucrat. They're looking for someone that actually has a history and experience of working across sectors, working with the private sector, the nonprofit sector, philanthropy, the people, to be able to get big things done. I will put my executive experience against anybody else inside this field.
With business leaders, Moore says he speaks their language, yet too many residents are living in poverty, he says.
The data continues to show we've got to raise this minimum wage. We've got to get it to $15 and not wait until 2025.
As for solving crime, Moore says the state needs to be a better partner. The state has hundreds of vacancies in the parole and probation system, he says.
It's not just a local issue, and specifically when you consider the fact that 1/3 of all violent crimes are being done by people on parole who are in violation of parole and probation. Right? That's not, no mayor nor county executive or city council person is responsible for that. The governor needs to take a leadership role in that.